Hear me out, just read the whole text. So my wife, F, 26, and I, M, 33, been married for 2 years. I admit that she is a hothead and can be a bit much, especially when she's mad at me. I take responsibility for any mistake J make, like not cleaning the bathroom after the shower or filling her car with gas after using it. I even stand there and let her unload her anger and frustration on me, but only at home and not in public. She tends to start arguing with me in public instead of waiting till we get home. Recently she's been coming to my workplace to berate me over something I did the night before, like not getting the stuff I said I would get or doing the stuff I said I would do. It's embarrassing and humiliating, and has been affecting my job to the point where I started getting a warning after a warning from my superiors, who I believe have been very patient and understanding, especially when my wife makes a fuss at the office. Last week I was in the middle of a 2 hours meeting, and next thing I knew was seeing my wife barge in while yelling at me asking why I was keeping my phone turned off. I had to turn it off after getting warnings about since she forbid me from turning it off. I was stunned because my superior and co-workers and potential clients were there. I didn't even move. My superior dealt with it and called security to get her out. My wife started arguing with him, telling him she came for me, then started urging me to get off my seat and tell them to back off. But I didn't. I just watched as security escorted her out. It was horrible because I had a fear that my job was lost. She yelled at me repeatedly to get them to stop, but she got kicked out eventually. I got told she's no longer allowed there and that this was going to be my final last warning. I apologized, then went home. She was there waiting, then yelled about me watching and doing nothing. She was getting mistreated and kicked out. I finally snapped and said she was over the line, made a scene that risked my job over few missed calls. She started crying, saying I still should defended her after getting humiliated in front of my co-workers, but told her she didn't have to worry about it because she's no longer allowed there. She got more furious and went to her mom's to stay there. NTA. This is a form of abuse, and I would take this with a strong understanding that things are getting worse. You never show up to a spouse's place of work like that. That's what I told her a million times over, but she refused to take responsibility and said that I'm the one creating these situations and I can't blame or dictate how she reacts. It's tiring having to go through the same thing over and over again. I get she's frustrated, and I have my moments too, but I'd never show up to her workplace and cause a scene, no matter what the justification is. NTA. Your wife is abusive. You need to get away from her and get counseling. Yes. And please don't have kids with her. You're going to subject innocent kids to a lifetime of abuse. NTA. And this is 100% divorce worthy. Yeah, seconding this. Maybe not straight to divorce, but bro P, you're in an abusive relationship. She turned on the manipulation when you defended yourself, but even in the best scenario your partner doesn't belong at your workplace, barring some horrible catastrophic emergency. You also shouldn't have to fear getting berated for something like leaving a towel on the ground. You deserve better and don't have to put up with abuse. You can try to get your partner to change, but it starts with setting very clear boundaries. Her not going to your workplace and not blowing up at you for minor things sound like a start. Generally this isn't enough and divorce will be the answer, but you can give it a try. Just make sure you take care of you, since no one else will. See a lawyer. You are married to an abusive, manipulative monster. She has no concept of acceptable behavior. What kind of face does she have to show herself in public behaving like this? You are 110% right. NTA. My concern is that you need to begin gathering information immediately so you can make wise decisions. Please make an appointment with a divorce attorney for a consultation. Perhaps even have papers drawn up so they are ready when you are. Nana, what she is doing is even on the fringes of normal. She is going to completely derail your career. Your career is done in your current workplace. It's bad enough for co-workers to witness what happened, but this incident involved clients. Your workplace will not tolerate this and continue to promote you or give you long-term career opportunities. Right now you are viewed as a major liability to them. I can guarantee somewhere there is a meeting going on involving what if she shows up with a firearm. She is that unhinged. At least that is what your superiors see. Your wife isn't a hothead. She's abusive. She's going to violate that ban and get you fired. You need to get out. These things only escalate. Edit. NTAX 1000. Sorry I had to be reminded to vote. Dude, I was just thinking this. Your work is giving you warnings because they can see you're in an abusive relationship. That's not fucking okay at all. NTA, and you'd still be NTA if you left. NTA, let her stay at her mom's while you work on getting divorce papers served. Yeah, in fact, take steps to make sure she stays at her mother's. NTA, you need to leave this woman. She is abusive to you. Get out now, before it progresses further. NTA, please contact your HR department and ask for help because you are in an abusive relationship and it is a common tactic among abusers to cause job loss as a method of destabilizing their partner. She isn't just a hothead, she is controlling and aggressively monitoring your behavior, flying off the handle when you are not reachable 24/7. This kind of behavior only escalates. Your coworkers and your superiors have seen her raging abuse and control. I know they're frustrated with her disruptions, but if this were a man barging into his wife's office to berate her, they'd be much more concerned. You need to take this wake-up call. There is no planet where someone this unhinged does not become violent. Please be safe and find a way to protect yourself. I'm glad she left. Sort this out and get the F*** out. Right? Why do they keep letting her in the building? Has zero control over that. I don't understand why he keeps getting written up because the company keeps letting an abusive spouse into the building to yell at him. NTA, what the hell? She's abusive and manipulative. Ask her to get some serious help. Why are you still with her? She is clearly not okay. Oh, so it's okay when she humiliates you, but not the other way around. The double standards. Ditch the woman. My friend, you really need to learn the signs of abuse. NTA. Holy smokes, does Op need a serious wake-up call? That behavior in private is horrendous, let alone in public. That's not what any relationship in any context should look like. NTA. NTA. Run away. She's abusive and toxic. You may love her, but I think you deserve better. NTA, if my husband acted like that, he'd get one chance to get some professional help. Then he would get hit with a restraining order and divorce papers. Yes. NTA, divorce her now. FFS. Correct. This is a pattern of abusive behavior. Plus it sounds like she is a Sam. If she has time to be at your office during a workday, jeopardizing your income is a huge issue, but she doesn't care. NTA. You are in an abusive relationship. Full stop. This raging at you has got to stop. Nobody should have to go through that, especially at work of all places. The fact that she can't understand on her own that this is wildly inappropriate behavior is red flag territory. Consider your next moves carefully. Think of your self-worth and safety. NTA. Why are you still with her? Even 5-year-olds are better behaved than her. No shade to kids. BTW. Your supervisors are extremely patient. I don't know which universe your wife is living in. PS. It's common decency to not use your phone at work. We leave our phones in our drawers for meetings. How can she not know this? She is 26. Yay. My wife can be hot-headed at times, but holy shit. This is more than out of line. She is being a child if she is yelling at you like that. She needs counseling and you need a divorce attorney. Make sure you document all this stuff because more than likely she is going to be petty about it. NTA. NTA. And you should lawyer up and get a therapist. She is abusing you. NTA. This is straight up abuse. Use the fastest method of transportation available to you to get to a lawyer's office for divorce. NTA. Having little tiffs here and there is normal, and some people call them healthy. What you have with your wife is completely destructive. It's clear she's abusing and manipulating you. She doesn't even care if she gets you fired. That's how little she respects you. Please take notice of the red flags, talk to a professional, and realize men can be victims just as much as women. She's carrying on like a spoiled child and not someone heading towards 30. You need to divorce. She is abusive and wildly unstable. She is threatening your livelihood. Her behavior is out of control and she needs serious help with her mental health. But you need to leave for your own mental health and safety. NTA. Good riddance. NTA. This is too much, mate. You can't let yourself be treated like this, being run into the ground every time, having to go through all of her tantrums ***** in front of your colleagues and clients. ****. Tell her to stay at her mum's. You two aren't compatible. In fact, I think she just isn't able to have any relationship at all until she sorts out her issues. WTF. That's not anywhere near normal. Wife needs therapy at the very least to help deal with her issues. NTA. NTA 100%. Many others have already said what I would say, but yeah, given her apparent behavioral history, I'd say she needs help more than anyone. NTA. In no way should you have defended your wife in this case. She went way over the line and has done so repeatedly, humiliating and abusing you in front of your employer and coworkers. No reasonable or sane person would do this. In short, your wife is out of control and is lucky she didn't have the cops called on her. Your wife has needed someone to tell her stop more often in her life. It's also obvious she has serious anger issues. If I were you, I'd get out of this marriage before her behavior escalates. NTA. That's abusive and you need to set boundaries. If she doesn't follow them, you may need to separate, or it will only get worse. NTA. Yes world, men can be in an abusive relationship as well. I myself was in one. Everyone sees it, but the person being abused, they make excuse after excuse to justify being abused. Nobody should stand there and have their spouse unload their anger on them. Nobody should justify their abusive spouse by saying, "Oh, she is a hothead and can be a bit much. I understand it will be hard to leave, but I suggest you leave her as soon as possible, or you will be miserable your entire life. You deserve better." Yup. And it's worth noting that, right or wrong for the company to do it, once you're fired, you're fired. There is literally no better time than now to separate from this, get a tro, and preserve the job, aka personal independence, so they can sort stuff out. Maybe the separation won't be permanent, maybe it will, but getting fired and losing your financial stability sure can be. Sir, this isn't anger or hot-headedness. This is abuse. I would argue verbal, emotional, and financial. She knows what she's doing. She is trying to sabotage your job so she can keep an eye on you. She relishes humiliating you in front of your peers and bosses. Now that she's out of the house, I would come up with a safety/escape plan. You need to get out because she is rapidly escalating. Please get out while the getting is good. NTA. NTA, and I hope this isn't a violation, but you're getting abused. NTA, though I think you might be being abused in more ways than one. Seek more info and talk with friends and family you can trust to confirm. NTA. I'm sorry this is happening to you. This is abuse. Her behavior is not normal. I don't know a single person whose spouse has showed up at their workplace to berate them publicly. Not one. It's great that she has gone to stay with her mother. Let's hope she remains there. Please protect yourself. Value yourself enough to divorce this woman. Holy S******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************